Hey, what's up, guys? rayBar checking in. If you notice here, the last week was brutal for us, down about 6.95%, $4,221. I think the broader market sell-off has happened due to, economic data coming out that hasn't been as good as everyone anticipated. Inflation continues to trend higher. I think we're kind of in that weird potential stagflation phase, but all this was to be expected. We had that, rally year to date. I think based off of hopium with the election and the administration changes, all that. But, overall, I think that the economic, conditions haven't been the best over the last couple of years. And I think we're continuing to trend that way. Just kind of, continuing that post-COVID era adjustment, right? Interest rates are going to continue to remain higher. It looks at this point they're baking in no rate cuts or maybe one 25 basis point rate cut over the remainder of the year. So I think, this year is going to be a challenging effect, but money market funds are still at all-time highs. So I think there's only a matter of time before that money starts to shift over into the financial markets, mainly, equities and stocks. So I think, as always, in the long run, the stock market typically goes up. So I'm a perma bull, so to speak, and I'm constantly buying because I don't need my money for the next 15, 20, even maybe 30 years. So honestly, in the long run, we're going to win here. If you notice, guys, my buying power is now $9,685, substantially up from last week's video. The main reason why is Robinhood offered a 50 basis point boost to their APY for Robinhood Cash if you injected $3,000 or more in a one-time deposit. So if you notice here now, my APY on my cash is 4.5%. The majority of my cash savings is sitting with an Ally bank account, paying me only 3.7%. So, I figured, why not inject that $3,000, get the extra 50 basis points, ultimately 80 basis points higher than what Ally is paying me. So, I think that was a pretty smart move to take advantage of that. And the boost APY is for 60 days, but hey, every cent counts, in our investment journey here. Crypto continuing to kind of fall, but nothing too crazy there. I added a couple of crypto positions, just kind of random gambles, so to speak. And then obviously continuing my daily Bitcoin buy of $2 a day, under $100,000. I think that's a good buy, but, only time will tell there. Palantir took an absolute beating this week. Over the last week, dropped about $18, still overall about $25 up for the month. But if you look here, the position has definitely reduced. About $5,000 or $6,000 is what I lost in Palantir alone over the last week and a half. I think, with the Department of Government Efficiency cutting a lot of government spending and government contracts and things, Palantir could be affected by that because I know defense spending is one of the big things that people are looking to cut. And, obviously Palantir with their Gotham software is heavy into government defense contracts. So notice here, all-time high of $125. So, the portfolio was booming. Imagine $25 times 200. That's pretty substantial. So I still think Palantir is a pretty good buy here. Again, if you notice over the last, 5 years, 900%, 1 year, 321%, even 3 months, 62%. The stock has been on an insane run. Valuation is a bit high, but sometimes momentum can continue to drive a stock up. So I think that I'm still a buyer at this price. But this 18% or 15%, pullback, I think it was kind of healthy, right? It was about time to kind of keep us in that Bollinger Band range. So, I think $100 for Palantir is still a pretty decent buy. But again, valuation is pretty insane. Look at that PE, 537%. But they're continuing to grow. And I think that honestly, the most upside I can see with Palantir is going to come from their corporate side with their foundry business. And I think that that's going to be the main thing is their, corporate clients on the private sector, not necessarily government. I think that's where we're going to see a lot of the upside to this stock. But they're continuing to grow out. I think, entering profitability, which is really nice. Last quarter, look at that beat, expected probably around it looks here around 11, 12 cents. EPS was actually, quite a bit higher than that. So, I I think Palantir is going to be continued to be a good buy. One of the other things here, clearly S&P 500 index here, VOO, going to continue to buy that every single day. I think you can't go wrong there. That's a good way to kind of diversify your portfolio. And, one of the main stocks that I'm focused on right now is Google and AMD. Right here, Google only got about 7.79 shares, but, I think Google right now out of the Mag 7 is a pretty good buy, especially for the price. And I think Google's underrated, not only in their cloud business, but overall in the AI battle in software. So I think Google is a pretty good buy, especially at these ranges. And, for all of those people that say, oh, I missed NVIDIA, I think AMD is going to be a pretty good second place. I think they're overpowering Intel. And so I think, obviously NVIDIA is, to the moon, booming over the last several years. But I think also, even with NVIDIA right now, especially at these prices, kind of reduced over the last, year, I think that, AMD is a pretty good buy. I think they're going to easily take second place, continue to steal market share from Intel. So I think that one's going to be a boom to go, right? Gain added another BDC to the portfolio, mainly to boost my monthly income, which, that's kind of one of my goals here is to start to, again, go back to that income base and, build my daily and monthly interest income. So that way, maybe one day I can get out of here a little bit sooner in terms of working a job. Got a couple of good stocks on the watch list here. SoFi, I am continuing to buy in my private portfolio. I think that's going to be a really good stock into the future. FinTech is taking over. They are a chartered bank. I think they're diversifying their business well. And honestly, I believe real heavily in Anthony Noto. You have to have good management. You have to have someone that has vision. And I think that Anthony is very strategic and prudent to the kind of vision and path that he has for SoFi, right? We're not giving up future gains for current gains, and slow and steady wins the race. I think they continue to build market share, continuing with their advertising. I think SoFi is going to be a huge player in the financial markets into the future. Right now, like I said, what was that? 52-week high, 1842. So I think we got a pretty decent opportunity to buy here. I continue to sell options on it, both covered calls and cash secured puts, to continue to boost my income, which I will mention here to you guys. I got brutalized on my taxes for 2024 because I had made so much money on my options income over the year. Between my public and private portfolio, it was in and around $20,000. So did not expect my tax liability to be as high as it was, but that's just kind of, that was on me for not tracking it maybe as close as I should have to make quarterly update payments. So you live and you learn. I had to pay, like I said, a pretty substantial amount, which I'm upset about. But hey, if you're paying taxes, it means you're making money. That's the upside to it. Either which ways, guys, I'm going to end it here. Like, subscribe, comment, share the video, and, hit that subscribe button. Like I said, join the journey, follow my stock portfolio on a road to 100,000. I've built several $100,000 portfolios in the past. And what I'm trying to do here is document doing it on YouTube. And so, started the portfolio not too long ago, at least from a YouTube journey perspective, with about $7,500. And here we are at $56,000 in a matter of 2 to 3 years, right? And obviously, maybe about $6,000 to $10,000 was going to be capital injection, to continue to boost the portfolio. But that's the number one thing that a lot of people overlook is injecting money and being consistent. Anyways, guys, again, smash the like button, please. Comment what stocks you're buying. And if you're here in this part of the video, you're clearly one of my best subscribers. Comment the word Microsoft. That way I know you are here. Anyways,